follow, like, subscribe. We're back, baby. Let's go.
Baba booey.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? And Birds, Beers, and BS is back for another great episode here on the AAT Sports Network. We are your hosts, Peenut, alongside myself, Eagle Jeff Warner.
Yes, sir.
And you, if you want to get involved, make sure you hit that follow, like, subscribe, and comment on the show as we discuss the latest and upcomings of the Philadelphia Eagles with training camp just 2 weeks away.
Can't wait.
So, look, we're going to start being back hopefully daily or weekly at least. Not daily.
Hourly.
I don't have enough time for that bullshit. But look, the season's ramping up. Training camp's just a couple weeks away. So, look, Eagles football is right around the corner.
Yep.
And, again, for all the latest coverage, make sure you're followed, like, and subscribe in AAT Sports Network and AAT Birds channel. So, for all the latest on the Philadelphia Eagles, along with the rest of the Philadelphia sports world. So, again, make sure you are doing all of that. Make sure to a friend, send it to a family member, whatever it may be. Yeah. But, of course, this show is brought to you by a couple of our big sponsors. Off the Iroquois Trail in Allentown in the Old Town Shopping Center. Make sure to check out Vinny's Pizza and Restaurant. They have daily and game day specials of delicious food for you to check out and taste. You can give them a call at 610-395-2300 or vinnyspizzapa.com. They are available for takeout or for delivery, so make sure to check them out. Again, off the Iroquois Trail in Allentown. I'd like to also thank our sponsors, Stuff to the Grills, again, also in the Old Town Shopping Center off Iroquois Trail in Allentown. They currently are still under renovations, but they should be opening up within the next couple weeks. So make sure to check out their website, Stuff to the Grills. They are still available for catering orders, and they are not completely, but they are revamping and adding some new things to their menu. I saw some of the stuff that they post on their Facebook page. They have, which I'm a huge mozzarella stick fan, so the fact that they're getting the triangle mozzarella triangles, it looks the bomb for it. Plus, all their great original food and their specials and all that. It's going to be coming back soon. So again, make sure to check them out. StuffToTheGrills.com, and they are located again off the Iroquois Trail Shopping Center or Old Town Shopping Center off the Iroquois Trail. So make sure to let them know that we sent you.
Yeah, in Allentown, not the hood.
Not the hood. Technically Ruppsville, around that area.
Yeah.
But it's considered Allentown. But look, Peenut, how you been? It's been a couple of weeks. I'll say we've been busy. Summer's flying away. Football season's around the corner, and look, I'll say, what you been up to? I'll say it's been a while.
It's been fun. I spent a lot of time with family and work, obviously, but I'm getting excited, man. The closer and closer we're getting to this season, it's getting to that point where my blood is starting to boil, and the news that's coming out is starting to come out more frequent. So it'll give us a little more to talk about. You know what I'm saying?
Rather than the boring off season that it's been the last couple of months waiting for the NFL season to start up. Look,
correct.
So that's what we're sort of going to revamp today's show a little bit. Look, I've been on for a couple of the network shows, so I've been able to give my opinion on certain topics regarding the Philadelphia Eagles over the past couple of weeks. So, again, I'll say if you did miss this past week's episode of the AT Birds Weekly Report, we did have NewJersey.com and LehighValleyLive.com Eagles beat writer Chris Franklin on the program. Me and Johnny got a chance to discuss and talk with him about the state of the Philadelphia Eagles, Jalen Hurts, the defense, Jonathan Gannon, and much more. So if you did miss that, again, make sure to check out the YouTube channel, subscribe, and check it out. Give us a thumbs up, leave a comment, let us know what you think of the program. So make sure to check that out. But look, I'm going to ask you a little bit of topics. We don't have to go too terribly long, but I want to get your thoughts on certain things, and we can discuss and debate whatever we may be. But
I'm sure we will.
Of course, the latest discussion, and it's really not. anything new, but the fact that it's being blown up the way it is. And that is, of course, the latest report, or whatever you want to call it, the report, the discussion, the saying, whatever came out of Derek Gunn's mouth in regarding his sources that told him about practice in late May during OTAs about Jalen Hurts and his struggles. So, look, and when I hear the bash D Gunn, I'll say, look, D Gunn, I'll say it again, he's a credible reporter. He's been a trusted reporter within that organization for, 20-plus years, however long it may be, since I was a child watching him.
Deeply ingrained into the system and the people that are there as well.
Exactly. So D Gunn's not a type of gentleman that is just going to throw something out there for clickbait. So whoever may have told him this information, I'm not doubting that they told him this. But the real concern is we saw what Jalen Hurts was able to do what he did last year with his inconsistencies, and we're hoping that he's able to take his game to the next level. And the way this roster has been revamped, and it sort of shows that this team is going to only go as far as Jalen Hurts can take him. So I want to get your thoughts. Do you feel that this report or what D Gunn was told, you think it's being overblown? Should it be something the fan base should be worried about? Is it something that it's a wait and see approach? Give me your thoughts on the whole ordeal.
Well, to be honest, I obviously don't think he's going to be one of those people to just make up a story. So there has to be some validity to the story. Someone must have told him something. That being said, I mean, it's off season. So if you're going to judge a player based off of a practice or a bad practice, if it may be a struggle here, a struggle there, that wouldn't be fair. That also being said, it's almost the same thing. Look, I like Jalen Hurts as a person. I like him as a leader. The guy's an excellent role model, but it's the same struggles that we keep hearing. And what year are we gonna? How long are we gonna wait before we go, all right, he's finally at this point? Because we're at year 3 right now, or 2.5 or whatever.
Yeah, whatever you want to call it.
So it doesn't necessarily scare me to a point where I'm like, oh, that's it, season's over. But it does bring a little caution to the wind. Like, yo, this is the same Jalen Hurts we've been seeing year in and year out. I mean, we're not going to really understand how deep this goes until he's actually on the field playing ball. But it worried me a little bit. There was a little bit of caution. There was part of me that wanted to get a big chart in the back, and you know how the terror levels would go up and down whenever George Bush would move it. Every time he has a bad game, we could just move that lever up to like yellow, and if it finally gets to red, we go, all right, we're just going to draft the quarterback. But I'm not there yet. But I am a little worried. I mean, I think a lot of people are worried, and they have every right in the world to be worried, especially with the roster that this team has developed in the offseason. We're one good quarterback away from being serious contenders. And that
we hope.
Well, we hope. On paper.
On paper. And I have to agree with you. This is Howie Roseman has done a decent job. I know. Huh? I'm saying it again. I'm eating some crow. But look, I'll say he's done a decent job on paper assembling this roster into at least being a division contending team, which
absolutely
it's step by step. Last season, they were able to make the playoffs as a wild card team.
Yep.
This year, the division is, in my opinion, still wide open, even despite the cow turd fans thinking that it's that they have Dak and Zeke and Lamb that they're going to be unstoppable, which hey, they may be. It's still yet to be seen until everyone hits that field on September 11th.
Agreed.
But I would say they still lost a lot of key pieces along that offense and defensive side of the ball. So the Dallas Cowboys aren't a Super Bowl contending juggernaut that can't be beat. So it's not one of those teams that are one of those fields this upcoming year. And look, Jalen Hurts, we'll keep on saying it till we're blue in the face.
Facts.
He has no excuse on why he can't succeed with this team this season unless it comes down to the coaching. If for some reason Sirianni, which we learned this a couple months ago, that he gave up or gave duties as play calling to Steichen, which you saw a little bit of improvement with the offense. So who knows if that's going to continue to happen or what's going to happen with the offensive flow and the offensive game plan in that per se. But look, Jalen Hurts has been given all the tools. He got a first overall pick who had a decent rookie season with Devontae Smith last year.
Solid.
They trade for A.J. Brown and give him a long-term contract.
Super.
They have one of the best offensive lines in football if they can stay healthy.
That's the question.
And the thing that Howie Roseman is doing, which is great, is if for some reason Jalen Hurts isn't the answer,
right,
we are a enticing location for a possible veteran quarterback.
Yeah, that's true.
And we keep on hearing and the biggest thing out of that report from D Gunn is that he was told that everyone in the organization is behind Jalen Hurts, which
I got no choice.
Which I believe with the fact that they were linked and they were rumored to be in the running for some of the veteran quarterbacks, whether it was Russell Wilson, Deshaun Watson, which thank God they did not do.
What a fucking
or even Aaron Rodgers when he was potentially on the trade block. So there were definitely talks that they needed to upgrade the quarterback position, and because in today's NFL, this is no longer a league, especially with how quickly teams are most of them turning their franchises around. You can't have a 4, 5, 6 year rebuild.
No.
Fan base and the organization, the owners, and this league, you need a quick turnaround within 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
And the fact that they have this roster assembled and they dressed the defense side of football, which was a disaster last year, by getting Hassan Reddick, by getting Kazir Wright, drafting Nakobe Dean, drafting Jordan Davis. Yeah, they still have some holes with the pass rush, whether you can believe Josh Sweat is going to be a guy that can live up to the contract that they gave him. The secondary, if you think Anthony Harris, second year in this scheme, can make the adjustment and be that all-pro player that he potentially can be, and that Marcus Epps or Kayvon Wallace can step up to the plate to be that starting safety. So
Kayvon Wallace, I'm done waiting for that guy, man. I'm done. And that's another thing. You bring up a really good point. On the defensive side of the field with all these new players, I was watching the show on Wednesday, and I had brought it up. It almost seems it's a whole different defensive team at this point. I'm a little worried. Did they do too much? You know what I mean? Basically just replacing the whole defensive linebacking core. You're going to have to go with a whole new scheme, right? Because these guys that they have don't fit the scheme that's in place right now.
I don't think they had to get rid of the scheme. I think Gannon, he wanted to run a certain scheme last year and didn't have the personnel, which is why you saw the vanilla defense and the style of defense that they were playing, where he wasn't gearing up any blitz packages and he was just trying to rely on his front four game pressure, because at that point that was the strength of this defense. That was the strength of that side of the ball. Was getting after the quarterback. And then BG went down. You lost a lot of depth there.
Yeah.
So obviously, as the wear and tear throughout the season eventually tore away, and they were struggling, but I feel we're going to see a little bit of a different style of the Eagles defense. And Chris Franklin, in our interview this past Wednesday, addressed it, and I tend to agree with him, that this might be Jonathan Gannon's last year in Philadelphia regardless. Because look,
if he does good, he's going to be a head coach.
Well, even last year, the way the defense was ran, I think the belief around the league is what we're believing is that Gannon is not a bad defensive coordinator. He's not a bad coach.
Right.
It's that Philadelphia didn't give him the tools to succeed as the defensive coordinator last year.
That's probably why they went heavy on defensive side.
Well, yeah, and I'll say we're going to see a lot of like hybrid and different sets and maybe a 3-4 scheme. The fact that they bring in Hassan Reddick, who's traditionally a 3-4 pass rusher, he can play down as a 4-3 defensive end too. But I was like, he with that explosiveness, with his size and power, you want him bull rushing. You want him rushing that offensive line to get after the quarterback, and he's a guy that can make plays in the run too. So
I agree.
It's definitely a little bit of a revamped team, and
it's like a Madden team. Like it's like one of our off seasons where you're trading like 4 or 5 different guys. You know what I mean? Look, there's question marks that surround the whole team, but it all comes down to coaching. If these coaches can get these players to gel and if the chemistry works for this team. So that's yet to be seen. It's weird that we're only hearing about struggles that Jalen Hurts is having, but I feel like I know who Derek Gunn's source is. I'm sure it rhymes with Schmardner Minshew's. He was like, "Hey man, hey look man, this guy is struggling." I mean, it's a weird year because I don't really recall a year where we had this much turnaround without having the quarterback in place. I mean, when we got Terrell Owens, we had D-Mac, you know what I'm saying? And in this situation, it's almost like reverse. It's almost like, let's build this entire team up. And then, if it works, it works. And if it doesn't, we'll get the quarterback that we need to get, which is basically a reversal of what they did with Donovan McNabb. Excuse me. So it's weird. It's exciting, and I'm sure we're gonna hear more stories about how Jalen Hurts struggled to do this, or Jalen Hurts can't read that, or all the way up into the season. But when that ball finally hits the field is when we're going to find out what Jalen Hurts is really made of.
And it was one practice, like you said, and it's the beginning of the OTAs.
Right.
And look at the personnel that he didn't have. He didn't have. I don't think he had. He didn't have AJ Brown.
Nope.
I don't think he had Devontae Smith for a part of that.
Nope.
He didn't have Quez Watkins, I believe, because he was at a football camp. So.
Yeah. So he's probably throwing a bunch of
OTAs
bumps.
are OTAs, and the Philadelphia media was very limited in those practices. I think they only saw like 20 minutes of practice, I think, for 2 of them. So it's not like we can really judge the eye test. Who knows? It could be a guy that's out to get Jalen Hurts or is not a believer in him, which, it's one practice. I mean, he went 0 for 10. Okay, big freaking deal. It was 7-on-7s from what we heard.
Yeah, so there's no sacks. There's none of that.
Well, no, there was, because they had sacks technically.
Okay.
So what we believe what happened is, a lot of those times, coaches have an internal time clock. Like a quarterback, you're supposed to have an internal time clock on how to release the ball, when you should release the ball. If you're just if there's no pass rushing, you're just holding on, hoping that basically
someone's gonna get open.
Basically playing backyard football where you're just gonna stand there because there's no pass rush, hoping one of your friends gets open that you can throw it deep down the field.
Right.
Of course, they're going to blow the play dead.
Right.
So who knows if that's even Jalen Hurts' fault? It could be the receivers aren't getting open.
Yeah.
I say you are going up against 2 or right now a solid tandem in the secondary right now with Darius Slay and James Bradbury.
Yeah.
And in that situation, you're playing zone coverage. You're just standing back there in coverage. There's no blitz packages. There might be man-to-man, but realistically, you're just standing back there. So I'm not buying too much into it. If I start hearing middle of training camp, or if we see him struggle depending on how much they play in these preseason games, if he starts struggling then okay, I might need to worry a little bit. If this offense ain't gelling, they're not able to move the football, they're not able to put up points, and they're turning the ball over consistently, then it's time to worry.
He needs to start reading defenses too. I think that's why people are scared with these 7-on-7s. Like, even if you have bums, like the DBs aren't playing 100%. And maybe they're throwing different looks at him to see how he's going to respond to it. Maybe that's where the actual he's struggling comes from. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's a major problem that he had last year that he could work on. That's something that's a mental thing that a quarterback would have to study and work on. So, I mean, I agree with you. I definitely agree with you on that, but it's too early, too soon. I'm not going to judge the whole season based off of one OTA practice that was 7-on-7s. And Derek Gunn, everyone's killing this guy. You know what I mean? Like, he did what if someone reported to him that they seen Jalen Hurts struggle, why wouldn't he report that to the people?
Well, apparently he brought this up months ago and no one gave 2 craps about it. Now all of a sudden the way it was worded, or the stats or the accuracies gets brought up, and everyone's blowing it out of proportion.
Yeah.
So
that is bullshit.
It is what it is. Right now, it's the off season. Philadelphia, the Eagles football always trumps everything, and no matter what is said or talk about, it's always gonna be king. So of course, people are gonna try to find things to talk about and dissect and discuss and debate about Philadelphia football. So
absolutely, that's what we do.
Well, try to some days.
Yeah, we're horrible at it, but we do it, right? We try.
I guess.
I'm horrible at it. I'm sorry.
Whatever you may say. but I'll say there was another interesting topic that was brought up this past weekend. Look, we all love lists. We all love lists.
Yes, we do.
I'll say Chris Sims, he does his quarterback list.
Fuck that guy.
The power rankings of teams right now. There's all these different type of lists, but there's one interesting list that you're probably going to really, really like, Peenut.
I know where we're going with this.
And I'll say this past week, NBC Sports released a list ranking all 34 general managers in the NFL. And I want to know from you, I want you to give me a guess, unless you saw the article.
I didn't see the article. I did not see the article, but if he's not top 5, there's a problem.
Where did you see Howie Roseman?
Number 4.
Howie Roseman is number 8.
Number 8. Oh man! After this offseason? Wow.
And I'll say I'm kind of feeling that's generous.
Yeah.
So I'll say the fact that he's 8, I probably maybe put him top 12
For this, or are we talking in general?
I think it's just in general.
Oh,
like,
okay.
They're ranked. You know how like each year they do like a team rankings.
Okay, I got
so out of all the teams or that have their GMs,
I understand
that's
now.
the ranking.
Top 10 would anything within the top 10. I'd be.
I'd probably top 12, maybe top 13. I'll say I'll give you the list in a minute. But this is what they had to say about Howie Roseman as the 8th overall general manager in the NFL. Don't like the Howie Roseman weather? Just wait 5 minutes. Somehow already on his second successful post-Chip Kelly rebuild, Roseman has assembled a typically excellent offensive line and typically shaky homegrown receiving core. Roseman decided to go outside the box for the latest reinforcement, trading first and third round picks for A.J. Brown. It was a sound move for a man who keeps bombing his wideout selection. If yet another heavy investment in a position he should have had settled by now. It's ultimately just a minor quibble for an executive who does an excellent job stockpiling talent in the trenches and hoping the rest works itself out. That plan has come half true at the quarterback, where Jalen Hurts didn't prevent the team from making the playoffs in 2021, but could have had more to do with it. Yeah. If Hurts lacks second gear, Roseman has left himself well positioned to find his replacement with another pair of 2023 first rounders. And Roseman is a whirlwind, but one that has made the playoffs 4 times in 5 years and has a Lombardi trophy to show for it.
Yeah, I mean that probably nailed it. Especially the wideout part. he always bombs on that.
So here were the 7 coaches or 7 GMs ahead of Howie Roseman.
Okay.
So at number 7, they had Mickey Loomis. Number 6, Jason. Here, I'll give you the team just in case you don't know. So Mickey Loomis is for the Saints. Jason Lick is for the Bucks, which, of course, getting Brady win the Super Bowl.
How do you not win that? Yeah.
John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan. Hey, I have them up there. The fact that they reached the NFC Championship 2 out of 3 years with Jimmy G.
Yeah, but they had Debo.
And they have Trey Lance in the wings.
Yeah.
So look, I'll say they've done a decent job to still be contending football team, and they're similar. Yeah. They're in a similar situation right now. The Philadelphia Eagles are, except in a better position.
They have their quarterback.
Well, no, they have the pieces. Right. It's whether they had the quarterback or not, because there was a lot of controversy and debate whether Jimmy G could be the guy that can win it for you, which you saw in the NFC Championship game. He let you down. Yeah. But now they have a rookie. You know what you have in the young quarterback with Trey Lance. So look, I'll say if they don't have there, they can just go to quarterback and go another route with the quarterback eventually. Maybe get a veteran. They're a veteran away from being a Super Bowl team.
Yeah, but I mean, they would get negative points for still having Jimmy G on the roster.
Who cares?
I care a little bit.
Who cares?
I mean, I'm just saying number 5.
As long as the one thing that's different about them, they've realized their issues and their mistakes, and they fix it sooner rather than later. Where Philadelphia has been a constant team, which is the one thing I'm worried about Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie, is that if Jalen Hurts doesn't show you that he can be a franchise quarterback, that they still keep him around, because this is a critical season for Jalen Hurts in his progression and whether he's the future with this organization as the franchise quarterback.
I agree.
And Philadelphia doesn't deserve a good quarterback. We had enough of good quarterbacks over the last decade or so. Right. We want a franchise level quarterback that we can believe in, where we can feel that this team is a Super Bowl contending team year in and year out that we have not had since Donovan McNabb.
So basically what you want is a guy that's going to last 10 years.
I want a franchise quarterback that's going to be here and make it a contending team with the pieces that we have.
You want a quarterback that's going to win you a Super Bowl, correct?
Exactly.
Right, like Nick Foles. Or a quarterback that can get you through the season to get to a Super Bowl, like Carson Wentz. See, he didn't get through the fucking season. No, but he got us to the playoffs.
And he did.
Playoffs?
He did, but what has he done since? Not a damn thing. Exactly.
Nothing. So what I'm saying, what you want is longevity, as opposed to, like, what if we get that quarterback and they win us another Super Bowl and the next year he's trash or the next year he's injured? Like, would you be satisfied with that? I want a franchise level quarterback. That's all I fucking want. Whether it's an aging veteran with like Aaron Rodgers, who I know that has excelled in this game. Granted, he's 1-4 in the NFC Championship games. Plus, he's an asshole too, man. You don't want an asshole.
But I want a franchise quarterback. I don't want a guy that I'm going to be debating what, like we're doing right now, and being worried about whether they can take this team to the next level to be that championship contending team.
I gotcha.
So number 4, you have Andy Reid and Brett Veach, which the Chiefs, which understandable. Number 3, they have Brandon Beane with the Bills, which they're a Super Bowl worthy roster right there as well with Josh Allen and company and trading for Stephon Diggs.
I agree.
Number 2, Bill Belichick with him.
I don't know about that one.
Remember, it's not just about this past season; it's about long term.
No, I know, I get that. I think Bill Belichick, without Tom Brady in those years, I mean, look at some of his picks, man. I mean, he might be a little high on that list. Listen, I love Bill Belichick. I love what he does as a coach, but as a general manager, I think sometimes he makes questionable decisions. Without Tom Brady being there to carry that team the way
they still won 10 games last year without Tom Brady and with a crappy roster with Cam Newton as the freaking quarterback.
Well, Mac is not a bad quarterback though. That was probably one of the better picks.
Exactly.
Right? You know what I'm saying?
So give him the benefit of the doubt and let him go out there and have the full season as the starter, then see what he can do.
And then what I heard is Mac is beefed up too.
Yeah. And then number 1, of course, the defending Super Bowl champions with Les Snead and Sean McVay is number 1.
The team with no fans.
Doesn't matter. They have no fans. They was Super Bowl ring. They got Matthew Stafford, a guy that everyone shitted on and that he couldn't win anything.
Shit on him.
Not you. I'm saying people in general.
Oh yeah.
He was a guy that put up stats but could never win anything in Detroit. And then he comes out here, goes to LA in 1 year, and freaking wins the goddamn Super Bowl.
Nobody wins in Detroit. Nobody wins in Detroit. I mean, yeah, I like
Detroit Red Wings. That's about it.
Yeah, right. I mean, I like the list. I mean, there's arguments you could have here and there and whatnot, but it's pretty solid. I'll give you that.
And then behind him, behind Howie Roseman, there's John Robinson from the Titans, and then Brian Gutekunst.
Brian gets cunts.
Good cunts from the Packers, whatever the fuck his name is.
Yo, Brian gets cunts. That would be the dopest name in the world, man.
I want to see where the Dallas Cowboys, they're 14. They have various GMs, so that's why there's not one listed.
It's like a committee?
Yeah, pretty freaking much.
Fucking Jones.
I want to see where the freaking Commanders are. Because the fact that they freaking decide to get Carson Wentz, they have to be towards the bottom of this freaking list.
Well, what choice did they have?
They could have freaking went elsewhere.
They could have got Deshaun Watson.
26, baby. 26. They had to get Carson freaking Wentz. Good job, Commanders. But anyway, look. It's a tough, fun game. We'll see how this plans out, but I have to give Howie credit. I would say I'm pretty sure he's higher than what he was the past couple of years. Yeah. The past couple of seasons, I don't think
I agree. But still, though, like I'm a little
people wanted him on the goddamn chopping block, and after this list and the way he's assembled this team the last 2 seasons, he's not. That was disgusting.
I never wanted him. That wasn't a burp.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say a sentence. I never wanted him on the chopping block. I want. Listen, you can go back and watch shows prior to this, even before I was on shows and I was just commenting on shows. I've always been a Howie supporter. So Howie Roseman, by the grace of God, if you ever hear this, I've always been on your side. I even wrote it on Party Doll Dave. It's right on his arm. It says, "I love Howie."
Of course he did.
I wrote that.
Of course he did.
I mean, he's done a tremendous job, especially given the circumstances that he was dealing with. Nobody knew that Carson Wentz was this like tyrant in the locker room, or I'm sorry, not in the locker room, but uncoachable in certain areas. Like, you know what I mean? So imagine dealing with all that. Drafting Jalen Hurts because he's probably like, this don't look great. You know what I'm saying? Everyone pissing all over him for it. And it was actually the right move. Yep. Now that we can see it after the storm, it was the right move. And let's move past the whole, like, well, he drafted this guy. This is why this happened. If we wouldn't be in a situation like this, Gardner Minshew would be our starting quarterback. I love Gardner Minshew, but like you said, he's not. He's what's a good? He's just he's a stopgap. You know what I mean? He's not a guy that's going to be the franchise quarterback.
The Commanders, they're not thinking he's a stopgap. Carson Wentz is still young enough, and he's in the prime of his career that maybe he just needs a change of scenery. Maybe he just needs that right coach and that right offensive coordinator and the right offense and the right scheme and the right players around him to succeed. Because you saw what type of player he could have been.
He had a good stretch with Indianapolis.
Yeah, he had a good stretch in Indy.
He had a decent stretch in Indy. Yeah, he did.
It was hot garbage.
He was hot garbage. Pull up the stats,
He had Jonathan Taylor. That's all he fucking needed.
That's all he needed.
He didn't do shit. I would say he had a decent stretch when he was here in Philadelphia in those 12 games before he got hurt.
He had a more than decent stretch.
Yeah, and then he had the MVP season. I'll give him that. That's what I'm saying. We know what he possibly could do. So
What happened to this guy?
I don't know if it's mental, if he's scared mentally, whatever it may be. I don't know, but hey, we're playing him twice a year with this defense and this defensive line, this pass rush. He's gonna be crying like a little baby bitch in those 2 weeks when he plays Philadelphia.
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if you see Carson return to form at least in some shape, form, or fashion.
He's probably gonna whoop our asses.
It's remember when Deshaun came back when he was with the Commanders?
Well, no, you remember when Donovan came back that first game at the Link?
Yeah, man. Like I wouldn't put it past him.
That was the only game Donovan cared about the whole fucking season. Was coming
the rest of it was
coming to Philly and beating his former team. That's all he fucking cared about that whole year. He didn't care that he got traded then to the Vikings and his career went in shambles.
Yeah, man.
But I'll say, Pete, you have any thoughts? Obviously, training camp's 2 weeks away. I'll say, is there anything you're looking forward to? A certain player you're going to be eyeing on or trying to read up on, or what you want to hear about in the next couple of weeks as training camp progresses?
There's 2 players actually, and they're not the names that you would think of. Like AJ Brown's obvious, and all these obvious names. Jordan Mailata, I want to see how I want him to become that dominant left tackle that I think he can be. So I'm going to pay a lot of attention to how he spends this preseason and whatnot. And the other person is the wide receiver, Pascal. Like, I think he's a forgotten name. And I think with AJ Brown and Smith probably getting the majority of the looks from the defensive side of the ball, I think it's going to be opportune time for the tight ends and guys in the slot to actually make real big plays. And I think this guy Pascal is a little better than what most people are giving him credit for. So those are the 2 players on the offensive side that I'm looking at. On the defensive side, I'm looking at Bradbury because I need to see because we already know Slay can play. So I want to see how Bradbury does, and I want to see how this new defensive line itself cohorses to the point where are they going to be that defensive front that could actually bring the pressure and make it a little easier for those DBs in the back. You? He's like, I don't give a fuck.
I don't give a fuck. No, of course, look, you have the obvious names, but I want to look at the young kids. I want to see these young guys progress. I want to see what the top draft picks that we're excited about with Jordan Davis and the Kobe Dean, what they're able to do.
The Kobe Dean he's one of those like.
So of course, I'm always a guy that likes progression, and I like the young players. I like seeing what they're able to do. I want to see how they can transition from the college game to the NFL.
Right.
And I brought it on Wednesday. I'm hoping Fletcher Cox, with him missing most of the mini camps and only showing up the last day, isn't a sight for things to come. Because look, yeah, he's probably in his last year here with the Eagles. Maybe one more year after this. Who knows? Depends on what things are able to work out cap wise. But
yeah.
You're a leader. You won a Super Bowl here. The fan base loves you. I understand why you can't be a leader in this locker room and lead by example and try to groom the young talent that's going to be taking your job. Because don't you still want
groom the young talent that's trying to take your job? You said it right there.
But look,
you just said it right there.
I get it. Like, look, these guys still want to play. If he still thinks he can still play in this league, I get it. But he has to realize he's on the wrong side of 30. He's made his money here. He's been here his entire career so far.
Shit, he's making
what did he want? Yeah, what he want this team to be successful. That's why there's the greats.
Yeah.
That's the likes of Brian Dawkins.
Yeah.
Brent Selleck. A lot of these guys, they stayed here in the city of Philadelphia, they past their playing days. They want this team to be successful. They're fans of this team. They're fans of the city. They're fans of the fans.
Yeah.
So look, I Fletcher Cox, he's considered one of the best defensive linemen in Philadelphia history.
Agreed.
You would think that he would appreciate that anointment from the fan base and from this city. Like, hey, look, I might not be able to play in my entire career, but I wish nothing but the best for the city of Philadelphia. Yeah, I still want to play, and I hope he still does. I still hope he plays at a high level. But he has to realize that his career is slowly coming to an end soon. That, look, still play, but try to help this guy. I'll say be that mentor, and that's a good sign for him going into another locker room. If it's not here, he's going to go elsewhere. He's probably going to do the same thing eventually, too. Yeah, he might get more playing time somewhere else, depending on the depth at that position.
Well, we don't know if he's doing that or not, though. Like,
we don't.
Because he didn't show up to the OTAs.
That's what I'm saying. I'm hoping that is not the case. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I'll say, also, I want to get your thoughts. No spoilers. So, look, I'll say if you haven't seen it yet, we want no spoilers.
Yeah.
But me and Jenna finally got to go see Thor this past week. So, without giving away spoilers, what were your thoughts on Thor?
Without giving away spoilers. Damn, that's going to be hard. I love the movie. I thought it was funny. There, in the beginning of the movie, there's a couple Jean-Claude Van Damme throwbacks. The movie's a lot funnier than I thought it was going to be. My advice, if you're going to watch Thor: Love and Thunder, take someone you love with you. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not talking about wives. I'm not just talking about wives, but kids. And the movie itself, I thought it was funny as shit. It was well written. Christian Bale did great. I thought he did great. There were a couple
of the cameos were pretty fucking hilarious. I didn't realize
the cameos were great.
I didn't realize them until Jenna brought them up. I'm like, oh shit, that is them.
The cameos were great, especially in the beginning when they did the theatrical theater thing,
the play.
Yeah. So I mean, I loved it. I had a great time watching it. My wife obviously liked watching it, especially everyone was like poof.
Well, everyone knows that scene. That's been blowing up on the internet. But my wife loved the part where you got to see Chris Hemsworth's ass.
Yeah. They don't blur that shit either. That shit is just ass.
Yep. You see it for a couple seconds, and then Jenna was hoping they showed the front side. But remember, this is still a PG.
It's still Marvel. It's Disney, man.
This is still a kid's movie.
Disney was probably having a problem with the whole ass cheek thing. But overall, I thought it was a really good movie. I think there's a couple scenes, or not a couple scenes, but a couple stories that I felt they rushed through to kind of get to the point. Yeah. Preferably the story of Christian Bale's character, Gore. But other than that, man, it was an enjoyable movie. I had a good time watching it, and it was one of those like, all right, this wasn't a shitty Marvel movie like Doctor Strange. Sorry, Doctor Strange wasn't great, man.
I haven't even started Miss Marvel either. I heard that my buddy.
Oh, you're gonna stop after episode 3.
My buddy said the season finale was fucking. It was a mind blowing moment. So
I didn't get there yet.
I'm so far behind. It's not even funny, but I agree with you. Look, if you're going into this movie, don't go into it thinking it's a normal Marvel movie where it's serious and there's a lot of action and there's going to be this huge, there's going to be these crazy moments like you saw in Endgame when Iron Man sacrificed himself. It's not the more traditional. What's the word I'm looking for? It's not the typical like theatrical type of Marvel movie. There's very more comical. It's very more comical. It reminds me more of Guardians of the Galaxy. Whereas Guardians of the Galaxy, yes, it had some serious moments, but it still had that funniness to it, which I feel what Thor did. And I'll say it wasn't bad. I'll say it made things entertaining, and it wasn't one of these Marvel movies that dragged on. Like it was a little bit over. I think under 2. It was a little bit under 2 hours.
That's why I feel like they had to rush everything into that.
Yeah, because you're used to like Endgame, and you're used to Civil War, where they're like almost 3 hours fucking long, and it's entertaining for the most part. But you still have those lull moments, like this shit's not over yet, or it's still dragging on. Like how much more do we have? I didn't really have that with Thor. So
one spoiler thing, not spoiler, but what do you think was the funniest thing that happened in that movie? Because I cracked up in one part and I thought it was just hilarious, and it's not really giving away the story, so I'll just say there was a part where he takes Stormbreaker out of the ground and he starts riding him like a witch rides a brew. I started laughing so hard.
That and Stormbreaker getting jealous.
Yeah, they're just floating around. Yeah, so they're it's definitely funny. I'll give you that.
Yeah, there's definitely funny moments, or when New Doug when he gets blown up, but he's still alive. Sorry, no more spoilers.
See, that was a spoiler. That was a spoiler.
Well, I didn't want to say you blew up and then people, he fucking died. But no, there's some funny moments there.
Yeah, I mean, it's an enjoyable movie. Take your family, take your wives, take your kids. It's one of those movies that you'll leave. And mind you, it's not like one of those mind-blowing move the Marvel Cinematic Universe forward kind of things. If you're expecting that, you're not going to get that.
It's one of those filler Marvel movies that they just had to throw in there for the storyline and to move the story of what they want the universe to do going forward.
Correct.
To link things up, because look, there's so many freaking more movies. There's still more TV shows on Disney Plus that they're doing. It's just never freaking ending. Yeah. At this point, I think between all 4 phases, you're at 100 hours if you decide to binge watch absolutely everything in order. Which
I recommend.
I would do, but I don't have time to fucking do that. Not all in one shot.
Yeah, right.
I'm saying you're not leaving the house for fucking weeks at that point.
Yo, I'm telling you, I enjoyed the movie. Yo, did you get caught up on Kenobi? See, man, we gotta no.
Remember, I have a 2-year-old.
I got a 9-year-old and I got a 19-year-old.
Yeah,
I still find time to watch my shows, bro.
19-year-old stays in his room most of the time, and the 9-year-old your wife deals with at night, or he's on his tablet. Yeah. You don't have a 2-year-old yelling at you, "Fortune, play Fortune." By the way, if you don't get the joke, My daughter loves Wheel of Fortune. We had to buy the video game for PlayStation, so we play it almost every freaking night when she gets home from daycare.
Wait till she's an adult. She gonna win you a trip to like Cancun or something.
Fucking better be, or win me my retirement. Pay off my damn house.
That's great. No, man, it was a great movie though. I don't want to talk. I want to talk more about it, but if I do, I'm gonna fuck it up.
Maybe we'll give it a little more time, and then we'll get your official review.
We'll do spoiler reviews afterwards.
Plus, I probably need to rewatch it again because I had a bunch of annoying kids sitting in the row that they weren't supposed to be sitting in, talking the whole time or watching or playing on their phone.
Did you yell at them like you usually do?
Oh yeah, I shushed them numerous times, and I couldn't be too mad.
Yeah.
Because look, the one kid that was doing it, he was autistic.
Oh man, so you yelled at them?
I'll say I yelled at the girls, but I'll say I'm pretty sure he was autistic because he had a stuffed animal with him, and just the way he was talking. So I kind of felt bad, but I'm still there to pay the fucking movie. And I'm not so much mad at the kids. I'm mad at the fucking mother that decides to let their kids run around the fucking movie theater, not even sitting with them. So look, they bought fucking seats. The movie theater is pretty much empty.
Right.
They bought seats a little bit closer to the front. Me and Jenna bought the last row because look, we don't like sitting around fucking people for that fucking reason. Or people on their fucking phones like, I'm bored with the movie, I'm going to fucking this. Or people talking because they don't want to they just think it's cool to go see a Marvel movie and want to talk the whole fucking time.
Right.
I'm there to watch the goddamn movie. I'm not here to see your goddamn conversations or hear your fucking phone calls.
Yeah.
So look, the theater's empty, and these kids thinking they're hot shit. They're probably like 10, 11.
Hot shit.
10, 11. The boy might have been like 8 or 9, whatever it may be.
Yo.
Fucking, they think they're hot shit. Think they're cool because look, when you go to the movies, it's in the back row. That's the cool thing to fucking do. And then of course they fucking run back there, running constantly throughout the goddamn movie because they either finished their drink, have to go to the bathroom, talking, whatever the fuck it may be. And then you have the mother sitting there all nice, fucking away from her goddamn annoying kids, watching the movie while they're fucking annoying us. I just shushed them within the first fucking 10 minutes of the movie.
How bad did it get? Did it get to the point where you told him to shut the fuck up? Because I've been in the movies with him one time, and he told someone to shut the fuck up.
I didn't tell him to shut the fuck up. I said, look, be quiet. You're not even supposed to be sitting here.
Yeah.
If you guys don't be quiet, I'm going to get security. And then the girls run down. They grab their stuff. They run down, probably told their mom, hey, this guy yelled at us.
Yeah.
He said we can't sit there. And they probably told him, you can just be quiet. Because then the boy that was being disruptive sat on the other side further from us, so we couldn't hear him as much.
Well, at least they listened. You're like a male Karen.
I'm not a male Karen. I'm paying to see the fucking movie. I'll say I'm not mad at the kids. I'm mad at the mother for saying fuck it. I'm gonna let my kids do whatever the fuck they want. Learn to control your children. If you know your kids can't fucking sit through a 2-hour movie,
then don't take them there.
Don't take them or sit with them and tell them to shut the fuck up. Look, you take your kid to the movies.
Yes,
I'll say he's well behaved at the movies. He might annoy Laura a little bit or annoy you. Have to go in the bathroom during a crucial part.
Right, but that doesn't bother me.
But for the most part, he's quiet and
out of respect, he's quiet. See what? That's all that Karen coming out.
Fuck you. But look, I have no problem with kids going to movies. The things I hate are fucking parents that find a goddamn babysitter if your kids can't behave or they're too young to see a movie. The worst is when fucking parents bring their fucking infants and they're crying in the goddamn movie because they couldn't find a babysitter. If I can find a fucking babysitter, so fucking can you. There's a reason why there's ads at the beginning of the movie. Shut the fuck up. Don't have your phones on.
Yep.
That's all you have to fucking do. That's it.
This has been boiling for how long? When did you see Thor?
Fucking Tuesday. Never go on Tuesdays again because that's where the fucking cheap fucks come to the movie who can't afford full price goddamn movies, and that's where they take their whole goddamn bungalow of fucking family with them.
Whoa. We should have been doing this the whole show.
Probably should have, but I want to get some official talk. I don't want us being a laughing stock of the goddamn network.
We are. We totally are.
Yeah, pretty much.
Who cares? Laugh at us. Give us a thumbs up, thumbs down. Who cares? Whatever you do, just don't talk during the movie.
Yeah, especially a movie I'm fucking at. Okay, if it's a kid's movie, that's fine.
Right.
But this is a fucking movie that has diehard fans.
A kid's movie, though. Thor is somewhat of a kid's movie.
It is and it isn't. Yes, it's meant towards kids, but it's not like an animated like film or like something for like toddlers or something like that.
It's not like a Pixar film or something like that.
Take them to go see fucking Super Pets, whatever the fuck is out right now with Dwayne The Rock Johnson. My boy, baby. Black Adam, baby.
Yo, and that's another thing in Thor. They made that when the Rock, it was this Rock creature, and he was like, "What's your name?" He was like, "Dwayne."
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh shit, Dwayne the Rock Johnson."
Yeah.
But yeah, man. All right, shit. Way to end the show, man. That worked. That worked out pretty well.
Let's get the fuck out of here. Again, we appreciate everyone for tuning in to another episode of Birds, Beers, and BS. Training camp is just around the corner. So again, for all the latest on the Philadelphia Eagles, the Philadelphia Union, the Philadelphia Phillies, and much more, make sure to follow our network, AAT Sports Network, and follow us on Twitter and AAT Birds on Twitter as well. YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all those. Make sure you're following and hitting the notification button. So anytime we post a new show, or anytime one of our shows goes live, or we have something to say, or an article or whatever, you get the notification first thing. So again, make sure you're doing that, because again, helping supporting us, we really appreciate it. We do this for you. We do this for the listeners. We do it for the fans of the network. Without you guys, we're nothing. We're just guys talking on the fucking computer that no one fucking watches. So
that's it. You pretty much nailed it.
So again, we appreciate everyone's support, and send it to someone you may like. You still have a chance. We're still not at 1,000 fucking subscribers.
I was gonna say,
I don't know how this is fucking possible right now, but go on our Facebook and our YouTube, or our Facebook and our Twitter pages. On the top pin at the top, there's directions on how you can enter the win a Brian Dawkins signed 16x20 photo. All you have to do is follow our pages, click a link to our YouTube channel, hit subscribe if you don't, and share it out to your friends. It's all you have to fucking do. A couple clicks of the button, and you can have a beautiful Brian Dawkins 16x20 in your home.
Authentic.
You see all this shit behind you?
All this shit.
Yeah, look, this could be you.
That could be you.
So again, make sure you're following, liking, subscribing, and make sure you get the notification button so you can catch all the latest with the network.
Yep.
I'd like to also thank our friends, our sponsors, StuffToTheGrills.com.
Yeah.
Stuff to the Grills is located in the Iroquois, off the Iroquois Trail in the Old Town Shopping Center. Again, they are under renovations. They should be up and running within the next couple weeks. So make sure you're following their Facebook page for updates on when they are officially reopening. Look, new menu, new menu, same location, but bigger venue. There's going to be seating for you to sit down and eat there. They're having a new menu, like I brought before. They're adding a bunch of new stuff, including the triangle mozzarella sticks.
Yep.
They still have their famous sandwiches where you can add coleslaw, the pit style, whatever it may be. They have all that there and more. And again, they are available for catering your latest event. Look, graduations are high school graduations just happened. You have birthdays, Labor Day is coming up. There's a lot of family events, family parties. If you need something for your event, make sure to hit them up at Stuff to the Grills and check them out, StuffToTheGrills.com.
Yeah, sandwiches.
And then, of course, our thank you to our friends, Vinny's Pizza and Restaurant, located off the Iroquois Trail in Allentown, the Old Town Shopping Center. You can give them a call at 610-395-2300 or visit Vinny'sPizzaPA.com. I have a dick in my mouth right now. Vinny'sPizzaPA.com for their daily and game day specials. Make sure to tell Caesar and the crew over there that we sent you over. And if you want to take the family out for dinner, I'll say they have seating. They have seating arrangements there as well, where you can hang out and get a good slice of pie, or get a burger, or get some subs, whatever it may be.
Meatball subs are bomb.
I'll say make sure, again, check them out. Vinny's Pizza and Restaurant, Vinny'sPizzaPA.com, or 610-395-2300, available for takeout or delivery.
Yeah, buddy.
Peenut, good fucking show. Train wreck at the end, but what a fucking ever.
In like a lamb, out like a lion, my friends.
Pretty much. But I'd say maybe be back next week, maybe a couple weeks. We'll see how it is. I'm going on vacation to fucking Tennessee in a couple weeks. 15-hour drive. Really looking forward to that with a wife and a 2-year-old that can't sit still. So that's gonna be fun.
Yeah, you should enjoy yourself, man. Enjoy.
I'm going to SummerSlam, so that's my fucking perk.
Oh yeah, the whole trip is based off of Summer. You're basically getting what you want anyway. So.
It essentially was. It worked out that my sister moved to Tennessee, and then it was announced that SummerSlam was gonna be in Tennessee, and she's been begging us for us to come. So. Hey,
there it goes.
Go visit her, and then
it's so funny how things work out, man.
Don't worry.
Your last trip, didn't you find something up there too?
Well, that wasn't planned. But I'll say we went up up near between Buffalo and Rochester, a city called Batavia, New York. It's like Western New York. To go visit Jenna's great aunt, and I found out while we were fucking up there that AEW wrestling was in Rochester, which is 30 minutes away, and we were planning on we were trying to find some fun stuff for Addie to do, because most of the trip it was revolved around some of the most of the plans were like adult museums or adult things that she's gonna be too bored with, or I'm not gonna be running around her with. So we're trying to find stuff to do. And then we saw that they were going to be at this like all hands-on play music kids museum.
Yeah.
So we decided to take her there. I got to meet a couple of AEW wrestlers. So it all worked out. Again, I had to try to find something to benefit from everywhere I fucking go.
I agree with you. And there was no Wi-Fi where you were at, correct?
Yeah, my Jenna's great aunt. She lives in the Stone Age. She's like 75 years old, so I get it. But she barely knows how to work her phone, so she doesn't have Wi-Fi. I love you, Aunt Cindy.
Shout out Aunt Cindy. Oh man!
But yeah, I'll say Eagles training camp's around the corner, so we'll be diving into that.
Yeah.
Preseason games are going to be around the corner. We'll be diving into that.
Yeah.
Look, football season's back. I'm pumped. So
yeah, me too.
I'll say if you ever want, if anyone wants to ever join this show, want to come on, hit one of us up. We'll tell you when we record. Yeah. We want to get other people's insight. We want to talk to other Eagles fans. We want to hear other people's perspective on this team and on this upcoming season. So if you're ever looking to join the show or want to talk some Eagles football, let us know. Again, make sure you leave your comments in the comment section on this episode.
Word.
So as we end every single fucking show here on Birds, Beers, and BS.
Yo, drink them if you got them.
What the fuck you said?